Hi folks, welcome back. I'm Rose. This is VeganDelicious and we're going to do a little bit of a different type of video today. This is the video where you're going to see what happens when I have no idea what I want to eat. This happens to me way too often and it's an issue. And then my hubby will be like, "What have you eaten today?" And I'm like, and he's like, "That's not good enough. You need to go and eat." He's already told me once and then he's gone back into meeting, so he doesn't know I haven't eaten yet. It's already almost 7 o'clock. I don't always do this, but there's a couple of times, like there's a couple of weeks every month when I just don't feel like eating. And so now I need to figure out what I'm going to eat. I've got cooked food in my fridge. I've got macaroni cheese with cassava macaroni. I have got some tofu chop suey. I've got vegetables. I've got salads. I've got all kinds of stuff in my fridge. I cannot complain that I don't have food. Problem is, I look at it and I don't want to eat it. So I'm being a little bit fussy. I'm aware of what I'm doing. I've been thinking for several hours, what do I want to eat? And so now you're going to go through this confused process with me. But eventually, I hope, by the end of this video, and look, you're not going to see this video if I don't figure out what I'm going to eat. So if you're watching this, I've already figured out, or by the end of the video, you'll see me eating something or I'll have something to eat. But I can see what ingredients I feel like, right? The only thing I feel for is tofu. That's it. I don't really want anything else. And in fact, right now I could sit down and probably just eat some baked tofu, get a little bit seasoning on there, and then I'd probably be quite happy with that. But I'm going to try to make a little bit more so that it's balanced, and I'm going to try to make enough for 2 portions so that I can eat tomorrow. I'm going out to the beach with some friends, and where we're going is not going to have a lot of good vegan options. So I'm going to try to make myself enough food that I will eat today, and then I will eat tomorrow, and then I don't have to go through this rigmarole tomorrow. So if you want one of my more kind of, you know, fast videos, not that they're super fast, but if you want something that's a little bit more specific, please go ahead and check that. But if you want to go along with me during this moment where I am like, I just don't know, then go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to try my best and figure out what I'm going to eat. So I know I fancy some tofu, so that's the first thing I want to get cooking, because I want to bake it, and I'm going to show you how I do it, and then we'll end up and see what we've got. Yeah. The other thing I don't mind eating right now, I could have some mushrooms. I'm in a space where mushrooms are not offending me or making me feel like I don't want them. This is pak choy that's already been cut up. I could do some pak choy. I like veggies. I feel for veggies. I wouldn't eat it on its own right now, but if it comes with this, I think I can do that right now. I'm just in a picky space, y'all. All right, and then there's some scallions, green onions that were cut up. I know you're like, "Oh, Rose, there's so much plastic. Why do you have so much plastic?" I know, it's way too much plastic, and I'm sorry, but please spare me. I'm going to figure out a solution to how much plastic bags I have to use in my kitchen. They are disposable, but they're not good for the environment, and I'm aware of that. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to work that out, but please just bear with me on that. All right, the other thing I've got is some of this leftover seasoning, which I use for my chickpea cakes, and I may just add some chickpea cakes to this for the extra protein. Actually, I think I will do that. So I've got some chickpea cakes. If you haven't seen my video on how to make rice cakes taste good, you want to see that video, trust me. And if you've seen it already, you know what this bag is. Really gonna taste good. So I think I will have some of that with this and this. And before you ask, am I gonna add potatoes or bread or anything else? If you can eat that, go ahead and add it. I cannot eat that. I can't eat bread. I can't eat normal pasta. I can't eat potatoes, chips, fries, anything that is made with potato. So this is one of the reasons why my food stuff is really difficult. So I have a very small amount of food that I eat, but I try to vary around it. All right. Anyway, I think I could probably also stomach a little bit of plantain. So I've got some cut up plantain already, and I can just kind of cook that. I think I'd like that with a little bit of sweet to go along with the savory. So let me go ahead and get that. Okay, I think we're cooking on gas. Now I've been talking about food. It's making me want to eat food. Okay, so I've got some hummus that I made a couple of days ago. So I know I'm going to want some of that because I like a creamy sauce with my food, and I haven't got any vegan mayo at the moment. So that will do me. Okay, this is some tricolored quinoa, which I've just prepped for the week. And you know what? I do feel for a little bit of the quinoa now. I didn't feel for it before. I made this 2 hours ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, and I didn't feel for it. But now I do. Now I'm talking about this food. It's getting me excited. Maybe that's what it is. If you're a fussy eater, get in the kitchen, start taking ingredients out that look good to you. Or if you're cooking for a fussy eater, sit down in the kitchen and go, all right, let's look at what things you like the look of and see if that helps. All right, and then this is some plantains, which have been cut up already. I didn't buy them cut up. It was like on a big, I think I've got a picture on that. I might actually insert it into the video, but like a big thing of plantains, and then we just kind of open them up, cut them up, and then like I cook it in batches. So I think I feel for some plantains as well. So this is really late for me. I don't usually eat at night. I definitely don't eat after 6 o'clock usually. But I didn't eat today, and my body needs calories for me to function tomorrow. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to start with the tofu first because that's going to take a little bit of time to cook and bake down. Let's get a bowl. Okay, here's my basic plastic bowl. Yeah, so this is what I'm going to go for. And I might as well do a story time while I'm doing this. So the reason I eat in such a peculiar way is because last year I got diagnosed with something that I've been suffering with for many years, but now we know what it is, and it's called fibromyalgia. A lot of people have it, don't know they have it, comes with loads of symptoms. Daily pain is one of them. So I'm just over by the sink, tossing out the water that is with the tofu. But anyway, yeah, I have daily pain. My nerves register more pain than is necessary. So I have to do like different types of treatments. And look, there's a lot of people who have chronic fatigue and loads of different issues. This is just my thing, okay? This is just what I have. Doesn't matter if you don't have it, but I want to tell you how having it has helped me to lose a duckload of weight and get healthier and feel stronger in my body as a person. So last year, I had to travel for... I just had to travel. I had to go on a trip, and I had booked the trip, and the trip was going to be for our anniversary, and we were going to Thailand. The problem is about, I want to say maybe 6 weeks before that, I was having a massage, and my body I just didn't feel quite right. And it wasn't anything that the massage girl did, but I was having kind of some symptoms before that for many months, even potentially up to a year. I was having problems like tingling in my hands and feet. And I was having loads of problems with like my energy. I was tired. I couldn't get through a whole week and be productive. Like I would have like at least 1 day or 2 days out of every 7 days would be, sometimes it was as many as 3 days a week, that I would just be not quite right, and I'd have to rest, and it would be frustrating because I'm a really driven person and I'm very busy, and the things I have to do for work didn't kind of slow down just because I wasn't feeling well. So the issue that I was having was that I was having fatigue, I was having pain, I was having tingling. I would wake up and it would feel like my body was vibrating. Like, you know, if you have a mobile phone in your bed and it's vibrating, but you don't know where it is. But I was the phone in this case. So I was actually vibrating, which was really a strange sensation. I didn't understand it. And I hadn't had a diagnosis yet. So anyway, I don't know why I'm saying all of this. I don't even know if I'll put this video out. But yeah, what happened was I had a really strange stroke, scary situation take place. And I was having this massage. And in the midst of having this massage, the lady touched like a part of my leg and was kind of massaging it out because I had a little problem there. It felt weird. And when she did that, I started convulsing. So I had this just electric feeling all over my body. I couldn't explain it. I've never had anything like that before. But it was like my whole body was electric and I was terrified. My husband ran in to kind of help me out. They got me off the massage table and put me on the floor. And I basically was having what felt like kind of a fit seizure type thing for about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe about 3 minutes, which was a really long time. I could see everything. I couldn't talk, but I could see and hear everything the same as usual. I was freaked out. I was afraid because I didn't know what was happening to me. I had no control over my body. My whole body is just shaking. And I couldn't really get my words out. I couldn't speak. I had a tear coming down my face. I felt so sorry for my husband because he was really calm, thank God, because I was looking at him for comfort. I didn't really know what was happening to me, and I was terrified, and I was like, oh my God, am I going to die? These are all the things that are going on in my head, but I couldn't say anything. I couldn't get the words out. And then he's got me on the floor and he's just telling me, just don't worry, you're going to be okay. You're all right. You know, stay calm. And I just don't know how he had that amount of calm and poise, but I will forever be grateful to him for that. And anyway, so took me a while to recover. While I was on the ground, I was down there still trying to recover for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And they were just trying to keep me calm. I felt so sorry for the massage lady because she was like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And I'm like, it wasn't you. You didn't do anything. It's me. I'm the problem. I knew that there was something up with me. I just didn't know quite what it was. Anyway, so about 45 minutes later, I had recovered enough to get up. I do remember when I was kind of having this seizing thing, when it started to calm down, I was like, what's happening? What's happening? And it was just really terrifying. Ugh. It was just really terrifying. And yeah, luckily, I kind of recovered enough. It's empty. I've got to get some more. I recovered enough. Oh, here we go. I've got some. I recovered enough for hubby to get me up after 45 minutes, 30, 45 minutes, something like that. And we did like a treatment. I have this machine that helps with medical issues that you could be having, and it kind of does diagnosis and treatment. So anyway, we did that, and then that helped. So I got up, went to go and lie down, decided I need to go to the doctors or the hospital or whatever. The other problem I didn't mention that I was having was palpitations. So I was having, like, I would eat my lunch, which would be like, let's say, for example, I had some homemade fries because those are healthy, right? So I would have homemade fries and some of my vegan meats or whatever. Everything was basically made at home. And then after that, my heart rate would be like 130 just sitting down, not doing anything, just sitting down. So obviously that's a problem, because it's like, why is my heart so fast? And when my heart would be running that fast for so long, maybe 2 hours, then I would like try to take an aspirin or something just to try to figure out what was going on, just to calm it down. But because my heart was running so fast, of course, my body now is going to get more exhausted. So this is what was happening to me. Every time I'd eat, I would have the same effect. I would have, my heart rate would be really fast, or my tongue would really react to whatever it was I was eating, even if it's things that I've eaten before. So like, sometimes I can eat pineapple, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I can eat mango, sometimes I can't. It just depends on what my body's willing to accept. I later found out that's something called geographic tongue, and it would kind of give that burning sensation on my tongue. So that was really frustrating and difficult, and yeah, something that it just really was not a nice time. Anyway, going back to the story, I went to the doctors a couple of days later. I went to go and see a neuro consultant, and they basically said that after doing some tests, and then they go through my history, my family history, and we did some other stuff. Anyway, it ended up with them giving me a diagnosis of fibromyalgia. So I came home, obviously did some research, and my sister actually has it. And I did some research and realized that this could be a pretty serious condition. And I was afraid. It was really worrying, because it comes with a lot of chronic pain. People can have a serious, you know, it won't kill you, but it will debilitate your life in such a way that, you know, you can't work properly. You have chronic pain, chronic tiredness. It can be really, really bad. There's a lot of sufferers out there with it. So anyway, like I said, my holiday was already booked, and I couldn't get rid of my holiday, but it was for our anniversary, and my energy was crap, and I was weak. I couldn't walk for like around the house. I'd get breathless. My body just ached. Everything was like, if you ask me out of 10 how much was my pain, like every day my pain was like 15. It was really, really, really bad. Anyway, we were going on holiday, and I literally said to my husband, I was like, I need help at the airport. I'm not going to be able to walk around the airport like this. I'm going to need help. And we had to book, and mind you, I'm like 41 years old at the time. And I was like, not at the time, I'm still 41 years old. It wasn't that long ago. Hang on, am I? I had a birthday. Yeah, I'm 41. Anyway, so we had to contact the airport and organize for services, for wheelchair services. And by the time we got to Thailand, I was so relieved and glad that we did that, because I would not have been able to make it. I wasn't able to walk like from my kitchen to my bedroom without being breathless. So going, like walking to and to like different terminals, all of that, I couldn't do it. It wouldn't be possible. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to actually go ahead and fry this. I'm going to put this in the air fryer. So when you see this again, it will be cooked. So anyway, yeah, I'm really grateful, because I had spoken to my doctor, and I was like, can I still go on holiday? And they were like, you know, yeah, you can, but you know, you've got to be really careful. They gave me some medication to help with my nerves, because of what ended up happening is something that's kind of like a nerve seizure. It's like your nerves are overactive. So it wasn't a permanent issue. What I had was kind of like a nerve seizure. And so we went on holiday. I slept for days of that holiday. We didn't hardly go out. And then when we came back, I think on the Friday, and I was saying to my hubby, like, I'm going to be busy tomorrow, because when we were away, I just kind of like decided in myself, I'm like, I can't be 41, you know, we travel a lot, and I'm like, I can't be 41 years old and essentially need a carer, and like kind of my husband now has to become my carer. I just don't want that for me. And a lot of people go through these situations, and I just was like, if there's something I can do to prevent that happening, I'm going to do it, because I just don't want that to be my life. And it looked very, very, very likely. And it scared the crap out of me, to be honest. So basically what I've done is that Saturday I came back and I sat down with ChatGPT, and I was like, I need to come up with something I can do with my food, because I know a lot of this stuff can be linked to nutrition, and I need to come up with something because I can't live like this. And that's what I did. I sat down with ChatGPT. I don't recommend making ChatGPT your nutritionist, but for me, I wasn't going to make an appointment to see a nutritionist that day, you know, and have to wait. I wanted to do something that was immediately going to make a change in my life. And so I sat down with GPT. I was like, okay, here is the problems that I have. These are my symptoms. These are the issues that I'm facing. I've been diagnosed with this, you know, and it might be different for you. It might be diabetes, or it might be just like, you know, you're breathless or whatever. Anyway, I told it all this stuff about me, and I said, okay, here's my work schedule. Here's my life. This is the kind of things that I do. And I need to have a better plan on how I manage my life and how I organize everything, just to make my life work better, because I've got this problem and I can't become debilitated by it. And then on top of that, I'm busy as heck. So I need some input into how I'm going to kind of navigate it. Anyway, let me just say something about the food I'm cooking. I know what it looks like is I'm just doing salt and corn flour on the tofu. And I know what you're thinking. Where's all the seasonings? They're here. Don't worry. I've got all the seasonings. But the issue is, there's a type of tofu I want it to be cooked, like where it becomes like a little bit crispy. And then I'm going to add the seasonings and stuff like that to it afterwards. You'll see what it looks like. But that's the type of tofu I feel for now. It will not remain looking like this. It will look lovely and delicious and tasty and have color, but just not just yet. That's all. All right. So anyway, going back, after my GPT session, I kind of came up with all the list of things I can't eat, which were things that I realized just from trial and error were causing me problems. So for example, potatoes were causing me significant problems. And I was like, I've got to do something about not eating potatoes. But I was like, what am I going to replace it with? And I started this journey of figuring out what my body intuitively disliked and what it liked. And I had to kind of break some habits, you know, a little bit of what I was used to. I kind of had to break that, because these things I've been raised in eating, like, you know, I couldn't eat rice. I'd stopped eating rice from before, because I noticed that I was having some bad side effects from eating rice. My heart rate would go up really high. I'd be like, my tongue would get inflamed and feel like it's on fire, stuff like that. So I already had started to cut out certain things, and then I realized that I couldn't eat gluten anymore, which is crazy, because, you know, on my channel I make vegan meat from gluten, which is so freaking delicious. But it reacts to me. So my husband still eats it, which is why I still make it, because he doesn't have the problems I have. But for me, like, there was like a whole list of things I can't eat now. And I started cutting them out and started adding things to my diet that I normally wouldn't have. I started eating things like lentils. I wasn't a vegan who ate lentils before. I ate chickpeas. And I started to make things like that, and quinoa and all this kind of stuff. And the more I ate that was actually just close enough to natural foods, simply made, but still flavoursome, the happier my body was. And then in terms of my pain, the thing that I did with my pain was I just started to focus on very simple things like stretching. I wasn't focused on losing weight. That really wasn't my focus. My focus was I want to become pain-free. And my pain was like 8 or 9 out of 10 on a normal day. And I'd learned to cope with it. I've been in pain for 10 years every day. I don't have a day where I don't have pain or aches or whatever. And it's not just getting old stuff. It's like specific areas which are very, very in line with people who are fibromyalgia sufferers. So now I understand where my pain came from. And instead of the diagnosis basically becoming like a death sentence for me, or like mentally becoming like, oh, well, this is what my life's going to be, it just spurred me on to make changes and, you know, just do things for my own self-care. I started to really focus more on my self-care. I found different therapies that I can do at home that will help. I do dry brushing now, which is really incredible for lymphatic drainage and for improving your circulation. It's great for pain relief. It's just great for your body overall. So I do that. I try to do it every day. I don't always do it every day because my body started to work better. And so I try to do it definitely at least when I'm having trouble. I got a massage gun. I did a whole bunch of things anyway. So that's where I was at from a pain standpoint. I'm getting bored now with this. Hang on. Not with my story, but just like, I forgot I opened 3 of these. I don't think I want to do this one. I'm not going to do this one. Put that one away. Because I want to move on to the other parts of the cooking. So anyway, back to the story. I don't know if anybody's going to listen this long. Is this interesting? Tell me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Does it resonate with you? Do you have things that you're trying to do, or you changing your diet or anything like that for health reasons? Let me know. If I've got some tips, I will share them. I am not a doctor, but if I've got any tips, I'll share them. And if you guys see anyone in the comments talking about any experiences and you've got something to share, please share, because you know what, we're all in this together. All right, so where was I? All right, so yeah, I had to change a lot about my diet and realize, like, if I want to feel well, I'm just gonna have to go beast mode, which is what I did. I'm pretty driven, so I'm extremely disciplined. And it's May the 3rd or 4th now, I can't remember. And I came back from our anniversary trip, I believe on the 29th or the 29th of September, 2023. And it's now it's now May the 3rd, I think. May the 4th of 2024. And in the time I've been doing this, and I could have done more, but like with my condition, I can't do high impact exercise. I do have a home gym, but I do gentle exercise. I will use the treadmill when my legs will allow me. Sometimes my legs hurt really bad for days or maybe even weeks, depending on what I've eaten or if my body's just not in a good state or if I'm tired. Anyway, so I will do stretching, and I will sit and I'll do stretching for an hour, and then I'll use the weights and do weights and stuff like that. Anyway, look, I've lost 21.5 pounds and I feel really great. My pain that was like 8 or 9 out of 10 every day is now like a 1 or 2 out of 10. And I'm still on a journey to becoming pain-free. I'm not pain-free yet, but to get my pain down from like a 8 or 9, sometimes 10 or 15, to down to 1 or 2 on average, sometimes when it's a 3 or 4. And I do track this. I got a journal. I made my journal, and I don't know, would you guys like to see my journal? Hang on, let me see. Okay, so I made a journal. I actually designed this on Canva, And I've got some encouraging things on there, and on the back it says never forget who you are. And then the actual journal itself is like blank sheets, and then I fill it in. So I like put my triggers, my water intake, what I've eaten, how I'm reacting, my treatments, etc. And I've developed this more. I've actually got like put more stuff in there, but I also put like what I'm grateful for, affirmations, what I ate for the day, workouts, any notes, bits and bobs, all kinds of stuff that's relevant for me, and then weigh-ins and stuff like that. So this has been working really, really well for me, and I will do this every day, and it's really encouraging, and it helps me keep an eye on what triggers me, and how I feel in my body and in my mind. And I just took more time for self-care, because taking care of yourself is time consuming. Cooking for yourself is time consuming. Cooking food from scratch instead of ordering it is time consuming. This adulting stuff is complicated, especially when you've got loads of other things to do. But, you know, I just feel a lot better in myself because of it. And if I can share something that encourages others, I'm very grateful for that. And hopefully my story hasn't bored you to tears. Let me know if you reach the end of the video in the comments. But anyway, let's continue with the cooking. I'll go back into cooking mode and finish story mode. I think I'm good. My battery is charged a little bit, so I can disconnect. And then we're going to go over to the stove and start cooking. Behind the scenes. We did clean this earlier, but I made quinoa and it got messy, so I'm cleaning up again. And that's more like it. All right, clean now. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I've still got like a batch here of the tofu that isn't cooked yet. And then I've got the mushrooms, the scallions, and then also the plantain. Normally I would just bake the plantain, but I'm not going to have enough time to do that because I'm going to want to eat shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the mushrooms first, because they will spring water, and then I want that water to season up. And then from that water, then I'll throw in the spinach, the pak choy, sorry, the bok choy. And this is the mushroom, but I think I'll go and get another one from the fridge so I can cook enough. And then when it's almost finished cooking down, then I'll put the scallions on it as well. And then the tofu is kind of like getting there. It's not there yet. So you can see I'm going to turn that over. Let's get a... kind of stuck to the edges a little bit. Oh, hot. So you can see at the bottom it's kind of like still pale, but on top it's kind of crispy. So what I want to do is turn this over. I just basically tipped it out onto another tray. Ouch, hot, hot. And then I'm going to put it back in. It doesn't have to be cute. Sometimes things can be messy, and that's okay too. I could have taken them out one by one. I just didn't want to. All right, so these are right side up now. And I'm going to go and throw these back in. If you don't mind frying your tofu, you have my blessings. It won't be as healthy as baking it, but it will taste tasty. And it will be quicker. Anyway, I'm putting those back in. And while that's going, I'm just going to put this to the side because I don't need that right now. And also this to the side. Also, I'm kind of, I don't know if I'm like if you're the same, but I don't like to have things that are plastic near my stovetop, because I have a bad memory. I could be cooking, completely forgotten. I walk out the kitchen and I'm not cooking. My brain is like totally somewhere else, and then I'll smell something, or I'll come back in the kitchen and I'll see the fire and I'll go, oh crap. And so it happens all the time. So me having a habit of not putting anything on the stovetop that shouldn't be there is like very smart. Okie dokie, so let's get into cooking this meal. I'm gonna keep this one free of fire because my camera is here, and I'm gonna cook on this one. So I'm just gonna kind of toggle it a little bit. Hopefully you can see nicely, but I just don't want no trouble. I don't wanna burn my camera. All right, so let's get this going. And some people do not wash their mushrooms. I am not among you. If you don't wash your mushrooms, we may not be able to be friends, or at least I'm not going to eat from you. I will wash my mushrooms, and then I will allow them to dry, and then I'll put them in the fridge. But I just don't trust. Anybody with my food that much to just eat it straight without it being washed. So anyway, we wash them in like a little bit of, you can wash it in water or salt water. For this, we wash it just in water, just to kind of get the streak off of it. Anyway, I'm throwing these in, and I'm putting that on a fairly high heat so that it can shock the remaining water out of it. It won't have as much because I did allow them to dry. I'm just going to go to the fridge and get one more packet. All right, I'm back with one more packet. And here's where I'm at. Like, I really want to be able to do super deliciously edited videos for my channel. I probably shouldn't put this much in here. Don't follow my example. It will definitely spring water now. But I just don't have the time, so I have to eat every day. The reckoning is that if I have to eat every day, I can film what I'm eating or how I'm making it. It does take me longer to cook when I'm filming because I'm explaining than if I was doing it. Like if I was just doing this whole video on my own without videoing, I would be eating already. I would have probably eaten by now and be sitting down watching something on television. It's a Saturday, so it's a good day to just chill. But anyway, I'm gonna get this moving around. Make sure everything gets to kiss the heat. And yes, I do know that I'm working with a broken handle frying pan. But if you are a cook, you know that there is a frying pan you love, and no matter what happens, you will ride or die for that frying pan. This is that frying pan for me. I was actually at my mum and dad's house abroad recently, and my mum has this really amazing frying pan, and I wanted to steal this frying pan. I just used that and nothing else the whole time I was there. But my weight of my luggage was too heavy, so I couldn't carry it. But God knows I wanted to steal that frying pan. I do have to kind of get out. I want to feel the frying pans. I have bought frying pans online, and it never works out for me. They always come back thinner than expected. Even if I spend like a lot of money, it still comes out not quite as what I wanted or expected. So I do need to actually kind of get out and go into a store and try to get some really good quality pans. If you know of a brand that you really love and you think they do great pans no matter what you buy, please let me know in the comments. So you see now already it's kind of getting juicy, and what it springs, I'm not intimidated by that, because that water makes a really lovely sauce, which is going to be really nice with the tofu. But what I'm going to do to thicken it up is I'm going to use mushroom powder. Now mushroom powder is made from shiitake mushrooms, and it also has salt in it most of the time. I use the MSG free one because I can't eat MSG. If I eat something that has MSG or syrup or sugar, I can get away with like a little bit of sugar, like actual real sugar, but like syrups or sweeteners, high fructose corn syrup, that stuff is demonic. Any of that stuff, like my body reacts incredibly badly to it, and I could be in pain for 2 weeks just from eating something that's wrong. Literally 2 weeks of actual agony every day just because I ate something that isn't right. So that's the reason why I'm like so strict with my diet. And to be honest, I wouldn't wish my diet on anybody. It's like, if I knew I was going to eat like this in my 40s, in my 20s, I would have eaten much more crap when I could get away with it. I'd have eaten more McDonald's, more, not that McDonald's is good, but like more Chinese. I would have tried things I never tried before. Like I'd have eaten a lot more crap, but I didn't know. If you're in your 20s and you can get away with it, eat as much crap as you can, and then, you know, or just have a balanced diet, and, you know, 90% or 80% of your diet, make it good and healthy, and then splurge with like the 20%. That's much more balanced. But honestly, the way I eat now, I don't have cheat days. I can't have a cheat day. If I have a cheat day, whatever I eat could affect me for like weeks. So it's not worth a cheat day. Cheat day is actually pain day for me. So it's just not worth it. All right, so while this is going, I'm gonna keep it on that high heat, but I'm gonna go and get the mushroom powder. And it has a really good way of adding flavor and at the same time kind of thickening the water of the mushroom a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put a little bit of that with it and give it a little stir. And another thing you can do, if your mushrooms spring water, it makes a delicious gravy. So carefully strain it off and then keep that in the fridge. And then you can use it to add to meals. You must put like a little bit of salt, or, you know, maybe garlic powder or garlic or whatever. But it makes a lovely, lovely gravy if you can thicken it up, or it just makes the base of your food, if you're making anything else, it makes the base of your food really nice. So I'm gonna let that kind of like reduce down a little bit, even though it's already pretty cooked. And people who really love mushrooms are going to be like, oh my gosh, just take it out of the damn water, will you? Oh my gosh, it's overcooked now, you're losing the flavor. You know there's more than one way to make something, right? You do know that, right? Chill out. Life's hard enough. Alright, so that's going. And I'll just show you here. Oh. All that good flavor is in there, and I'm not going to lose any of the goodness of this because it's still here. It's all here. I haven't thrown anything away. If you were making like a mushroom soup, wouldn't you allow it to spring water? You would, right? Alright, so I'm good with that. Normally I take a little bit of water off, but I don't mind. It can stay like that. Alright, so I'm going to start preparing the other things I want to throw in here. Let me see what else I want to put. One sec. Alright, I'm back. I realized I left something uncovered in the other room. I wanted to cover something up. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna add anything else besides what I've already said to it. I don't feel for anything else. So it's gonna be this. You can see that it's already thickening up now. The camera was off for like maybe, I want to say like maybe a minute and a half. So you can see it's nicely thickening up, and here you go, there's that nice thick, look at that thick liquid. It's like a glaze, really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, actually I want some garlic, that's what I want. I'm going to get the garlic. Alright, so that time was like another 30 seconds for me to get the garlic and just rinse it off. But it's already gone thick, and this is a real difference between having something that's cooked nicely and something that goes really bad really quick. I don't want it to be high on temperature anymore. I want to keep a little bit of that juice, so I've turned it right the way down, and I want to start adding other things to it. But this is already really, really yummy. That mushroom powder gave it tons of flavor, umami flavor. It's got salt in there, but I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic. But before I do, I want to take out a portion of this for our breakfast tomorrow, because I haven't done that yet, and I'm going to save myself a bit of cooking if I can. So I'm just going to take out like a little bit of this, which we can have for breakfast. And then I'm going to add the garlic, because I don't want garlic for breakfast. Not with what we're having for breakfast. Anyway, I think that will do. Yeah, that's enough for 2 people for breakfast, garlic. Breakfast and mushrooms. Alright, so this now, what's left will be enough for me for 2 meals. I will not eat all of this in 1 meal. So I'm just gonna now get the garlic ready. It's taking off the end. Then I'm gonna use my garlic press. And I'm just gonna do a little squirt of oil in the middle. You notice I've kind of pushed the mushrooms to the side. They can stay in the party, but I want to give the garlic a little bit of time. Notice it's like 5 to 8 now as well. I still haven't eaten yet, but I'm talking to you guys, girls, folks. All right, that's my garlic taken care of. Just give that a little FaceTime with the heat. And those of you who put tons of oil with your garlic, that's you. I'm not doing that. If I eat too much oil, it affects me. So, and also health-wise, you don't need it. 1 tablespoon of oil is between like 110, 140, 150 calories. That's a lot. Even like the healthy oils, you just don't need that many calories. Anyway, I'm good with that. I don't want it to be completely cooked out, because there's going to be plenty of heat already here. And then now I'm going to add to that my pak choy. And I don't have to do much. This heat is going to reduce all of this loads. So I'm just going to have the whole thing here. I don't know how much this is. It's like a good, like maybe 3 bunches. I don't know. So I could cover this, but it's really not necessary. If I cover it, it will like cook quicker, but I've still got a couple other elements that I'm sorting out, so I don't really need that to happen. But I'm just going to let the heat take it. It's on a low heat. And just be careful of your mushrooms below it, because they are still cooking. And I've got here some vegetable stock. I actually cooked down those cabbages in the fridge, which you saw earlier. Just going to add a little bit of water there, because I can already hear the way the mushrooms are at the bottom, and they are going to burn. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm just put a little bit in there just to kind of take the energy out. And then I'm just going to let that do its thing. So while that's happening, we can have another look at this. It's kind of unfair because the light is so bright that you can't quite see the color. Let me see if I can turn the light off. All right, so you got a good bit of color on here, and it's crispy. There's crispy parts of it. It's not all crispy, but it's like got soft and crispy, and I like that. So I'm good with that. And what I'm gonna do is put it on a platter thingy. This is actually really good. I would definitely recommend these containers. It's not a container, it's like a I don't know what you call this anyway. Like, you buy them like that. It's like a plate, bigger than a plate, but not much bigger than a plate. And then you can actually put that on top. So if you've got food that you want to kind of keep a bit warm, or you want to be able to kind of make and then put in the fridge, that's what I got those for. So they're really useful for many things around the kitchen. Anyway, that is that good. And then now what I'm going to do, this is enough for me to eat now. But if you remember, I said I wanted to have enough to eat for 2 meals, which will be now and then the meal tomorrow. So earlier, I just want to show you these delicious, what are these, pineapples. They are so, look at the color. They are rich in yellow, but lovely yellow, rich. Oh my gosh, they taste so good. I had a couple of pieces and my tongue said, not today, Rose. No, not for you. So I could try and risk it. I can't have any more fresh. Some people are like this, right? You have pineapple and it eats your tongue, and it's literal. It is like, it's actually eating your tongue. Look it up. Pineapples are really amazing. Anyway, there's a reaction that I get, and sometimes I can eat them, or my body will allow me to, my tongue will allow me to eat a few pieces, and then I can't eat anymore. So it stopped me earlier on. I can't eat any more of them today. I could risk it and kind of have it warm, but I'm just not going to risk it because the ramifications can be quite horrible for me. So no pineapple for me today. Anyway, this is already going. And look at this. I told you it was going to reduce all of that down. Look how much it has reduced to. It's tiny. It's like almost not there. So I can turn that off because it's got enough heat on it. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of the cut scallions in there because they don't really need much time to cook. But I do like the flavour of them. What I don't want is this. I don't know what's in there. Alright, so I'm gonna just give that a little toss, and I'm gonna move it to the side because it's gonna spring some water and I don't want it to be wet when I put it on my plate. Alright, that's it for that. And then let's get my plate going. I don't usually eat out of a plate. Honestly, I usually eat out of a bowl. I don't have a poke bowl. I should get poke bowls because I really like the experience. Anyway, so I'm going to eat out of this, and I'm going to get my favorite spoon thingy, which is this. I think it's like for a rice cooker that I had at one point. I don't eat rice, so, but I still kept this. Anyway, so I'm going to get this on here, which is some of the quinoa that I made earlier on. Not too much because I just don't really feel for it now. Earlier on I felt, oh yeah, I feel for quinoa, but now I don't feel for it. The only thing I absolutely still feel for is the tofu. That's the honest truth. Like, but I'm gonna eat the rest as well. All right, so that is that. If I did this with 2 hands, I would have put this in a bowl, squished it in, and then made it pretty. But anyway, that's what it looks like right now. And then I'm gonna season the tofu a bit. I think actually what I might do is put a little bit of sauce with the tofu and just fry it a little bit. Hang on. Okay, I got some new containers today, so Let's get these out. All right, so pretty much all out now. And shame, I actually just finished some cashews on the sofa when I was trying to figure out what to eat. This would have been so nice to add cashews in. Anyway, I've got a little bit of this sauce left over and I'm happy with it because I'm going to use it with the tofu. So let's get some of these hazards out of the way. And just to show you again, this is the mushrooms and pak choy with garlic. And then we've got quinoa. And I'm gonna get Did you see that? I found some pak choy that fell out the pot and I ate it and it's good. Okay, let's get some fire on this. Little squirt of oil. What I would love to do is put some hoisin sauce. Have you ever had that? That's like the sauce that they put with like crispy duck in the Chinese restaurant. It's so good. Couldn't get any today. That brand, I've actually had it quite a while ago though, so I'm not sure if I can still have it. But I've been able to have that brand and it's gone really well. But yeah, you can see this is kind of crispy on the outside. Nice on the inside. And tasting this tofu, remember I put salt on it already? It doesn't need any more salt. It's plenty salty. Turn that down. And I want to get the reason I'm cutting it is I want to get some seasoning and flavor into the cut section here. All right, so let's throw that in. And toss it, get everything a little bit moist. What's the point of making it crispy if you're going to make it moist? I want it to be crispy because I kind of like the crispy-ish taste. I like the texture. Makes it not just something that melts in your mouth. Right, see, it's not super saucy. It's good. Now I'm just going to put a bit of flavoring on. All right, flavor stations. I'm going to go with a little bit of mushroom powder. Not a lot because it's already salty. So like maybe half a teaspoon. Then I'm coming with some parsley. And even though that's dried parsley, it's really like freshly dried, so it tastes good. Then I'm going to go with a bit of nutritional yeast. If you put a little bit of nutritional yeast, it doesn't overwhelmingly taste like cheese. It just adds a nicer flavor to it. And then I'm going to put like a pinch of this yellow mustard powder. I'm not going to go in with any black pepper. I just think for me, this is enough. I don't personally like a lot of pepper. I like a lot of flavor, but I'm not a spicy girl. And then the last thing is a little bit of paprika, but I'm not putting my fingers in this because I don't want my fingers red. All right, so now that's the way I want it. I'm just going to put a little bit of this what do you call it on it, vegetable stock, just to kind of take the fresh seasoning out and just give it a bit of space for those flavors to get in there. All right, and then because I like a little sweet and savory, remember I said I was going to do the plantains? I can't be bothered now, so I'm just gonna, for my sweet and sour type taste, I'm just gonna put a little bit of honey. I just don't, I want to eat now. I don't feel like cooking the plantains. I've got some cooked plantains. I might warm it up, I don't know. But anyway, I'm just putting a little drizzle of honey, just so I've got kind of like a sweet and sour flavor. Never ever double dip into your honey. Use a fresh spoon or fork, or the honey thingy, you know, the one that you can get and they show on the adverts. I don't have one of those, so that's the reason I'm doing it this way. And if you're not really, if you don't cook a lot, taste your food as you go. I cook a lot, so I've got a pretty good idea of what my food's going to taste like. And as you can see, it's got lovely color on it now. It looks seasoned and flavorful, and I'm happy with that. I honestly really want to put the really want to put pineapple in this, but I'm going to be wise and not tempt a problem. And hopefully the vegetable stock took a little bit of the edge off of the salt. It wasn't salty before, but I've just added a little bit more. Look at this. Let me see if I can get a better view for you. That tastes good. Oh, this tastes good, guys. Right, I can turn off the fire now because that's done. I've got a little tiny bit of heat from the mustard powder, not a lot, just enough for it to taste like there's some pepper on there. That's really good. If you want, you could mix it in with the mushroom and pak choy, but I'm just going to put it here as a showing of a serving suggestion. Doesn't that look great? Yum, yum. Delicious. Really nice flavor. You could put this with like barbecue sauce, whatever you like, really. It's good, y'all. That might be the thumbnail. Oh, it's so good. All right, so that is going to go with this and the veggies. I'm going to pause the video, warm up the quinoa, and I'm going to show you the plating. Hello, key folks. So I'm back and I'm here with the completed meal, which is some hummus, the quinoa, tricolored quinoa, which I cooked in a mixture of the vegetarian stock, and I also had some, like, I cooked down some cabbage and put some seasonings and stuff like that in it, and it's kind of like, it was soupy, so I cooked the quinoa in that, so it's super flavorsome. And then this is the tofu that we just made, which was kind of like crispy tofu with delicious seasonings, And then, you know, we've got our mushrooms and pak choy with garlic. And then I've got these mushrooms that I left for tomorrow's breakfast, so I won't eat those right now. But I've also got the hummus. So that's what we ended up with. I've still got some more of the rest of that tofu is actually still here in the air fryer baking. So let's go ahead and put this together. All right, so I am going for some of the tofu. I don't think I'll eat all of this tonight. It's a bit much. If I was eating nothing else, I'd eat the whole thing. It tastes so good. Look at that. You got like that, not batter, but you know, the corn flour. It helps give it a crisp. Like it's falling off in places and it's on in some places. So it's got a really nice texture. Almost kind of like jelly and then crispy, and yeah, it's really good. Okay. Let's go in for some of the veggies. That's how it looks so far. And the reason I didn't mix the tofu in with the veggies is when I am in this kind of weird food mood, if I mix it all together, I might not want it tomorrow, even though it's good. So I have to keep them separate, so then I can kind of have the quantities of what I want. But I will eat a lot of greens. I like greens, and the mushrooms are going to give it a really nice flavor. So that's that. And then I'm going to go for some of this hummus on the side. And it looks a little loosey-goosey, but it's still good. And when I put it in the fridge, it kind of hardens a little bit because I use coconut oil to make it. But like I say, it's still good. Tastes really good. I probably put a little bit too much tahini on it, but it doesn't matter. It still tastes good. And that is it. That is my completed, I don't know what to eat, let's figure it out together meal. And I hope this was a satisfying video. Please let me know what you think in the comments. You know, I'm here for all of your comments, and I reply to everyone, even the occasional mean ones. I also reply to those too. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And, you know, like some plantain would be nice here, wouldn't it? But I just can't be asked. Just going to put a little bit of scallions on top. I'm happy with that. That'll do me. That'll fill me up until tomorrow. And then when I go to the beach, I'm going to probably throw this into a wrap, because I can actually eat there's a specific store I get the wraps from, and they use whole grain, wholemeal flour. And there's no additional preservatives and crap with it. So what I will do tomorrow is I will make this into a wrap. And then that's what I'll have at the beach. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet and you already made it this far in the video, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe and share this video with anybody you think would really enjoy it. I've really enjoyed sharing with you. Didn't expect to do a story time video today, but with your help, I actually got in the kitchen to cook. I wouldn't have eaten otherwise. I'd have just sat down thinking about the fact I hadn't eaten today. So thanks so much for being with me, and I hope you enjoy the video. Let me know. Take care. Have a wonderful, delicious, delicious day, morning, evening, afternoon, dusk, dawn, whatever time it is where you are. I appreciate you. Have an amazing day. Stay delicious. Rose signing off. Take care. Bye.